The Boys in the Boat is one of those films that I've just been telling everyone to go and see. And yet it was literally only on for a week at my cinema. I don't know why that was. Let's explore. Welcome back, or if you are new here, welcome. My name is Katrina and I make bookish content here on this channel every week, and then movie reviews just like this one here at the weekend. All of my movie review videos are spoiler free, and I will leave a playlist of my recent reviews linked up above in case you are looking for something to watch this weekend. Yes, The Boys in the Boat. It was literally only on for a week, and it was only on at one out of the two cinemas that I regularly go to. I think that it is definitely playing in larger cinemas, but in my cinema, which is only actually an 11 screen cinema, it is not playing anymore. It was only on for a week, and yet I am recommending it to everyone. So straight off the back, should you pay your cinema going money to go and see this one? Yes, you absolutely should. There's a review for you. See you later. No, not really. This one, it was a sports underdog story. I love a sports underdog story. I didn't really realise going into it that it was in fact a sports underdog story. This one, you know that film that I saw that's like, I always want to call it 12 Angry Orphans because of 12 Angry Men, but it's not. It's something to do with like 12 and orphans. Anyway, it's just like that one. It takes place between the two wars, which is fabulous. And it follows the rowing team at Washington State University. So it's based up in Seattle. It's, you know, Seattle in the 1930s. It's got a brilliant cast. The main character in this one, I just kept thinking he was Chris Evans. I would hear him talking and think he was Chris Evans. I would sort of see his build and think he was Chris Evans. And then he would turn around and he had more of a look of like John Slattery. It was very weird. I was like, where have we landed in the Marvel Cinematic Universe here? It's not Marvel film. But yeah, it follows the rowing team, and they're kind of like coming together, tryouts, rowing on the water. If you like looking at thighs, there are a lot of thighs in this film. So, you know, if you find pleasure in that, then definitely this film is for you. There are a lot of thighs. But yeah, we see all the tryouts, lots of hard work. And then we sort of follow these couple of characters who are a bit down on their luck, but have managed somehow to find themselves at university. And then they're kind of trying out for this team because it's basically that, or get kicked out of the uni because they can't afford to pay anymore. This also gives them accommodation, and so it means that they actually have somewhere to live. It's a whole thing. It was like a whole subplot. And then we've got the coach of this team who has a massive rivalry with the coach of I feel like it was, sure they said Northwestern, but I don't know that they're terribly close to each other. Maybe they are, and I've got my geography wrong. But anyway, so yes, Northwestern, big rivalry with this other coach, the other coach called Kai. And then, so that's like another subplot that you've got going on. And then, yeah, we've got this like sports underdog story of this journey. If like, oh, if they can get put in this race, and then they can win this race, and then they can win this race, and then they can afford to go to this race, then they might go to the Olympics. It was just a whole like, whoa, with this whole train of events, and going in knowing that it was based on a true story, but not knowing that true story, so you haven't been spoiled for it. It was brilliant. So obviously we've got that Pacific Northwest type of scenery. The scenes at Washington State University were filmed at Washington State University, but then there was a few other scenes and I was like, that looks like very British weather. Now, the Pacific Northwest does have very British weather. It's, you know, known for the rain. We know this from Grey's Anatomy, obviously, and sort of Twilight. But that sort of area, known for the rain, known for the grey skies. And so it is very British weather. But there were some other scenes, and a lot of it was actually filmed in and around the UK. And I thought as well, with the, like, Oxford, Cambridge boat race, rowing history within England in particular, that they might have used some spots for that for this film, and they did indeed. There are some parts where you will get to see the Thames, even though it's supposed to be up in the Pacific Northwest, and again, that's not a spoiler. And then there's a railway station scene. I'm like, that just has the look of like your classic like King's Cross, York, Liverpool Street. Like, they've all got that same sort of look. And it was actually at a filmed at a sort of railway centre, so they were able to use historically accurate type of trains, apart from the fact that they were like the British style of trains as opposed to the American style of trains, which I thought was really interesting. But yeah, there's some tragedy in there, but you are all the time absolutely rooting for this main character just live his best life. You want him to win the races. You want him to get the girl. You want him to have the success. You want him to have the sort of friends and family that he never had. And so all the way through, they've written this story where you can just absolutely get behind him and root for him. And it's just a nice film. There's like, it's not like, oh, and then somebody gets shot, or oh, and then something explodes, or then, oh, then war breaks out and a depression happens. Like, we know we've sort of got through that First World War, and yet we sort of know that Hitler is coming, and Hitler does feature in this film a little bit, but it's just a nice story. It's harmless, it's something to root for, and I genuinely felt good coming out of it, and I felt like I'd seen a good film and I enjoyed this story. And so I really do recommend this one, and if your cinema is still showing it, take people, go and see it. It's a bit of one of these where it's suitable for all. I think that, you know, older people enjoy it. If you're more of a fan of a sort of more action-packed movie, I think there's enough action in here, because genuinely, when I was watching any of the boat races taking place, I was holding my breath. So it is suitable for everyone. It looks great on the big screen. Even if you think that you really have to go and pay your cinema going money to go and see something else, or unfortunately it's not on at your cinema, stream it. It's a really good film. I really enjoy it and highly recommend. As always, if there is a particular movie you would like to hear my thoughts on here next week, then do let me know in comments. Always happy to go and watch on demand. But I do have quite a lot of movie tickets lined up. So make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out on those movie review videos, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on my bookish content in the week. And yes, I will see you with my next video. Thanks for watching.